Okay guys, we're just a minute or so away from today's match. It's a loser's side match between Albinario and Yamaguchi Taru, who for the rest of the broadcast we'll call Yama. And just before the match starts, I'm going to have a quick look at the bracket. If I can remember how to get... And we'll see that Albinario lost to Mal 21-18 in round 3, and that sent him over to the loser's side. And if we look further down here, we can see that Yama was playing Billy Bigrigger, and that match went all the way to a final rack decider, which Billy managed to win. So this is how these two guys have met up today, and it promises to be a very good match. I'm looking forward to it. Albinario, multiple virtual world champion over the years, and well, Yama, the new Japanese player on the block. So I think they should be underway right now. They're just lagging off. And I don't know whose cue that is going through the ball, but we're waiting on it loading up because I've still seen he's got a house cue. But anyway, Albinario won the lag. And Albinario... Oh, he's just going to have to change the batteries in his cordless mouse. That's another reason why I don't use a cordless mouse. And I've watched Yama play, and he's quite impressive, and it was a surprise that he lost to Billy, but Billy played well. But this will be a true test against Albinario to see whether he's got the potential to be a champion. Because the old nerves could get a hold of him, and we'll see how he copes with that as well. Well, let's hope Albinario's got some batteries then, or it could be all over pretty quickly. Right, I think we're good to go. Dry break, but no shot for Yama. He might try and kick this in off the rail, although the one ball's a wee bit away from the rail, so you'll need to judge this well. He's maybe just going to kick in behind it. No, he's deciding to push. Now the obvious thing with the push shot is you've got to look to either tie a couple of balls up or not play a shot like that and just leave your opponent straight on in the one ball. Not a good push out. And this is a free gift here for Albinario. Problem ball's going to be the 6 ball. Plenty of room to come around behind the 5. He could actually check it up. He just needs to watch he doesn't hit the 9 ball. He's checking it with inside English. And that kiss off the 5, well, He's still got a shot, I think. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. And now there is a problem, and Albinario has to judge this well, because he's got to come off that left rail, right rail, and back across the 6, unless he tries something spectacular. Well, he's getting the cue ball as close as he can, and he's probably going to be able to hold the 6. Let's see whether he can play the 6 straight. Well, that's going to be a problem, because that 6 is right on that jaw, and he's got to get this right, because there's a very strong danger of getting off. So, well, he looks as if he's going to play the cut. Needs to be delicate. Very thin cut, and just the weight of the ball to take it into the pocket. And he gets it. And the perfect angle, just cut the 8 in. Cue ball's going to come across the left. Not too hard though, he doesn't want to do anything silly. Well, that's the first rack going to go to Albinario, and the glaring error there by Yama was a very poor push out. Just played the cue ball into the open and left Albinario a free shot in the 1, and Albinario runs out. So a comfortable start for Albinario. But he too has come up dry. Now, he's got to probably draw this and hope to hold for the 2, because it's a high angle in the 1. Kissed into the 7, played it nice, and a nice angle in the 2. Now the simple shot would be onto the left side rail and between the 3 and the 8. That would be the simple shot, but he's queuing over this 7, I think, and that's going to cause an issue. Yep, that's making it a lot tougher. Well, he's went for the draw, and now he's got a nice angle in the 3. He's got a choice. He can just stop it and play the 4 straight, which looks as if he's going to do. And then a little roll through again. Take the 5 into the bottom left. That'd be the simple shot if you're going for simplicity. Well, now he's decided he's digging down. Again, there's plenty of room here. He can go anywhere on the right hand side of the table and spin it around and come out for the 6. He's running a bit strong here. That cue ball's heading for the pocket. Oh. Again, this looks simple enough to pot the 6. He's got to watch the angle here. He doesn't want to be over hitting it, because he can track into that right middle pocket, and he's got the pace right. Checked it up to hold for the 7 into the right, and then he can drop down in the 8. And don't forget, this game's all about angles, and he needs to get a nice angle in the 8 to come back up the table for the 9. very easy to go wrong. And he's, well, how does that look from his end? Well, he's got an angle, so he can force it up the table, he can run around the angles, he can do whatever he wants. And that's a bit weak. He's leaving himself high. 9 balls off the rail, so shouldn't be a problem. So in it goes, and we're tied up at 1 rack all. Well, 8 balls going in bottom left. And he's got a shot in the 1, so now we've got a first opportunity to see if Yama can break and run. And that would be a good message to send to Albinario that he's well capable of taking this match if he's given the opportunities. Right, how's that angle look? Well, he can drop down onto the bottom rail avoiding the 4. He doesn't want to hit it too plain, he needs to get past that 4 ball. And that's probably what was going through his head, but he's got the 2, I think. No, he's left it on. And again, little instances like that where you've got that angle and you're thinking too much about avoiding that 4 ball, and in the process of doing that, he's overcut the 2. So Yama's opportunity to break and run has died a death there, and this is finished a bit straight. So again, Albinario's got to move this cue ball. Where's that going now? In off the 6. Well, there you go. Stranger things happen. So it's been handed straight back to Yama. Now he's got a choice. Be confident and run these 5 balls out, or play the 4-9 combo. And he might regret that, because Albi can spin off this 4 if he wants and just spin into the 9. Looks a fairly simple enough shot to play, and of course he doesn't want to spin in after the 9. Yep, just needed a touch. So again, that's a message that sent to Albinario there. Yama decided that he would take what he thought was the easier option, going for the 4-9 combo. It was never dead set. It might have been more impressive if he had actually went for the run out. So maybe a wrong choice of shot there. Albinario gets a ball in the break, but again having to bank the 1 to keep it going. And now he's in reasonable position here. He can drop over to the right. Plenty of room to get on the 3. And the problem though lies ahead with that 6 ball, which is tucked in between the 7 and 9. And it will need a good shot to get position on the 6. In fact, you would think he's going to have to move something there. And now that angle on the 4. Let's have a look from his end. See what he's got. Well, he could actually come off the side rail and maybe nudge into the 9. Well, in the end, he was playing for accurate position to try and cut that 6 back, and left it short by about 5 or 6 inches. So now he's just got to hit this and hope he leaves it safe. A straight choice here for Yama. He can try and bank that, although I don't know whether he can see enough of it. So he might look to just thin it behind the 9 and get the cue ball down into the long grass here at the bottom end of the screen. Well, he got that too thick. Moved the 6 a lot more than he really wanted to there, so he's left Albinario with a chance. And those are never easy. He might still get away with it though. Now this shot, you have to go full 100% and just pot this pocket weight, because that's the way you can hold for the 7. You could hold for the 7 into the same pocket by just playing it pocket weight. You've just got to make your mind up and go for it. But he's went for the heave-ho shot to try and get position. And this time Albinario sitting with a wide open table, no excuse. And I think maybe Yama's just showing a wee bit of nerves, but he doesn't have a lot of time to get rid of the nerves. Remember, it's only a race to 15. So Albinario's opened up a gap. He's now got a 2-rack lead, leading by 3 racks to 1. Once again, no joy. And nothing doing here for our Japanese friend. Plenty of room for cover though. But again, he's failed. Needed to tuck that cue ball in behind the 9 there. And he's left enough of this 1 ball showing for Albi to cut it in, I think. Oh yeah, I'm pretty certain he can get the edge of that. Yep. Now already you should be planning ahead as to what he's going to do with that 8 and 9 ball. Yes, the 8 ball pots into the right hand corner, but you've got to get on a particular spot to pot it. Now here's where things can go wrong. He can take the risk and nudge it into the 8 to hold for the 5 ball. That's never a guarantee. And now he's left that a bit short. Would have liked that a lot straighter than what he's got. And again, he's got to do something with the cue ball to hold for the 6. Now, he can run through off this 6 and get the cue ball into the right hand side of the table and leave a low angle on the 7. But he's went the other way, so now the angle he has can go forward. And he can certainly try and play position in the 8. And that's what he's done. And that's really about the only spot, I think, that he could get enough to pot that. Now, can he see the edge of that to get the potting angle? Yes. So Albinario now takes his chance. It now goes to 4-1. And still can't buy a ball in the break. but he's getting away with it because each time he's getting a dry break, he's leaving nothing on here for Yama. And that can be a bit frustrating, so he needs to just keep the head. Oh, it's going to be ball in hand here again to Albinario. Well, the one thing you can say already is there's a big difference between, you know, looking good in a challenge room and actually having to produce the goods in a match in a tourney, especially over the longer distance. And certainly from what the evidence we've seen so far, there's been a few nervy shots here by Yama, and he needs to get rid of that fairly sharpish, or he's going to have a crisis in his hands very early on here. Now, Albie could just run into the 9-ball here, but this could go wrong. Well, he's got the double kiss, and that's done him a favour. So just a little soft draw here, nothing spectacular. And the road map looks fairly simple out in this rack. Now, he doesn't want to leave himself on the left hand side. See where the cue ball is now? He doesn't want to leave the cue ball after he pots this 6 inside the 7. He needs to get that cue ball out into the middle of the table to make life simple for himself here. So he's got the right hand side of the 7. So now he can, well, he's got a choice. He can go off the end rail, right hand English and out. So he's spun it, and he's just looking down the barrel of a gun. Easy 9-ball. And he's 5-1 up. And I think Yama needs a run out here to settle the nerves. And the bad news is Albinario's got a couple of balls in the break. Well, there is a shot in the 1, and the cue ball's going to track up into that top left hand corner for the 2. Now, while he's lining up the shot, let's have a look at the top end, because that 4 ball stuck behind the 9 as well, but the 4 does go. So let's see if we can get that 1 and track down for the 2. That's a good shot. Doesn't want to finish dead straight. Well, what's he going to make of this? The 3 doesn't pass the 9. Can he stun into the 3? Well, he's trying to spin back across. He's managed to get a shot, and now he can just brush off the 9. The problem is the 9s might end up as a blocker for that 4 ball. Now this is where you're just hoping a little run of the balls here. And now he's having to work for it. You've got a tough 4. Can take it long. You can take it into the middle. there is a slight angle. You can certainly manufacture a shot here. Just get the cue ball anywhere over on the left hand side of the table. So in goes another 9 ball, and Albinario is now sitting 6-1 up, and Yama's now sitting with a crisis in his hands. He needs to get something quick. Again, a wing ball's flown in. This time Albi's got no shot in the 1. Well, there is an opportunity for a reasonable enough safety shot here. Just bank that 1 ball up the table. Needs to avoid hitting the 8 though, and leave the cue ball somewhere in the bottom rail. He's got 5 balls to try and hide behind here. Well, he could find himself in trouble. Now is Albi lining up the thin cut? Looks as if he is. Yama, I should say. What am I saying, Albi? Well, was that the right shot to play? Again, I think he should have probably looked for a good safety there. Because that 1 ball, well, you can't see the potting angle, but you can certainly jump it. And of course, when it's so close, the problem is keep the cue ball on the table. So here we go, ball in hand. And he's looking for a way to get this cue ball comfortably on the 3. So a little soft draw and back up, and 3 into this bottom right. Well, he's went the other way. I mean, he's either going to play a 4-7 combo, or he's going to stop the cue ball, because he's now limited in what pockets he can play this 4 ball into. Now the 4 squeezes past the 5, so he could run through. And you would think this is a must for Yama. He really has to take this rack out. Well, again, he's missing shots he really shouldn't be missing here. And Albinario's got no pressure on him at all. And the way of putting pressure on your opponent is taking chances and running out. Any opportunities you get, being able to punish them, and so far Yama's done nothing. So it's another one that's going to get away here. Just a simple one for Albi. Anywhere over on the right hand side, drop the 8 in and roll through for the 9. And there has to be a point where Yama sets his mind on the fact that he's behind, and the only way of winning is coming forward and just forgetting about any nerves. Some players play better when they just get any of those thoughts out their head, but he's making too many unforced errors when he's in, and he's just gifting these to Albie. Now, can he see the potting angle in the one? No, he can't. So, again, looking for, well, I thought he was going to play a safe, but he's just looking to push. Again, there's an opportunity to bank the one onto the right side rail, in behind the 9 and get the cue ball down the bottom here. That would be the safety zone. But Yama doesn't like it, so Albanario's got the opportunity. Well, he's went to hide behind the 9, and that's a good shot. And the one solution that Yama's got, here's the jump. Now with this, if he does decide to jump it, which is more than likely what he's going to do, the cue ball should come off the side rail if there's enough pace in it, and give him a shot in a 2. So he's now into his extension, and there's obviously you can see the pace wasn't there. The closer you are to that object ball that you had to jump over, the less pace is going to be in the cue ball, because it's going up so quickly and just dropping down onto the table. So now he's got to kick and hope. Or is he digging out the jump stick again? I wouldn't advise it, I don't think. I think he could try and spin into the 2 and kick it up the table, but he's got second prize there. Got cover. There's always a chance of kicking the 2 up the table and stopping the cue ball and using those balls for cover. Well, he's went it the other way, but he's still got a reasonable enough safety, although this time Albie might find that Yama's going to knock this 2 in off the 8. That would be the shot. Just got to hope he gets a shot in the 3. Well, he's got that all wrong. Then it's worked out. The 2's gone into the corner. He's got a shot in the 3. Doesn't matter how they go in. It just matters right now that something's gone into the pocket and he's got a shot. But again, this looks easy. And it is simple if you just play the simple shot. It's just a little stop on the 4. He's already stuck himself in the rail. So now he's just got to get this dead weight. And now he's finished pretty straight in the 6. And when you're drawn for position, it's never a guarantee. So he's drawn across. Now I think I'll give him this one. This is just a roll-in. But don't forget, he needed a fluke there to keep him going. But he's stemmed the tide, gets another rack in the board. Still trailing by 5, and needs a break and run here. Something needs to go in. Well, 4 ball decided to kick in off the cue ball. What else went in? The 2 balls going in. Now he has a shot in the 1, I think. Yeah. But again, it's not an easy shot, because look where the 3 ball is. Again, the cue ball's going to have to be worked off that side rail, and that's why he's missed it. And again, he's missed it and left it on, but Albanario's got the same problem. but he's actually got a better angle. Now this could go wrong because that 6 and 8 ball are in an awkward position here. And he's avoided them. Now what does he do? He can go up the table and he can try and find a gap between the 9 and the 6, or he could go up the table and back down the table. Well, that was taking a risk, trying to use his 8 and 6 as stoppers, but now he's in no man's land. Awkward shot into the right corner, but he should have a shot in the 6, no problem. Again, he's going to be stuck in the rail. And this is not a guaranteed certainty to get on the 7. Well, this is going to be the decider. As long as he can keep that 7 tucked down the rail. And he's not going to be hampered by the 9. That's going close to the pocket. Well, there's maybe a change in fortune. I'll be having to manoeuvre the cue ball, and again, the rule is the more you move the cue ball, the more likely it is to find a pocket. So a gift in return by Albinario gives Yama his 3rd rack in the board. He's trailing before. He's broke off, and once again he's got nothing, and unfortunately he's left a 1 ball on. 2 ball goes past the 7, and it could possibly be a 3-9 combo, although even that shot is not set easy. Now I'll be too busy thinking about the 2, he's forgotten about the 1. And Yama's relying on luck here to get on this too. Well, he's managed to hold it. He has a shot. That's got rid of the 3-9 combo. And now he has to make a decision. He needs to get the cue ball up past the middle pocket or play this dead weight to leave the 3 long into the top left. And that's what he's done. Now, how straight is that? Well, it looks as if it's going to be a long 4 as well. He could go forward and try and avoid that 5 and spin off the left hand rail past the 5, but he's made his mind up. He's going to go for the draw. Again, that's finished too straight, so it's a straight choice. And if he draws back, the angle is drawn towards this 7 ball, and that's not going to be easy. He needs to kiss off it, and he's got a nice kiss. Nudged the 7 into a nicer position over the pocket. So that means he's got a lot less work to do. Just roll the 5 in, because the crucial shot is getting from this 7 onto the 8. Now this could be maybe the start of something good for Yama if he can negotiate this shot here and get a decent one on the 8. And Needs to get away from that 9. What's he doing here? Well, he can see the 8, and he needs to just roll straight through. You can leave a reasonable enough shot in the 9 if he goes right through and back across. Doesn't want to leave a big angle in this 9. That needs to keep going. So the 9's off the rail, so this shouldn't be a problem. Oh dear, oh, I thought that was going to miss there. Cut it away from the pocket, but anyway, it doesn't matter, it's gone in. So Albinario still leading by 7 racks to 4. But the rack score is looking a wee bit more encouraging for Yama. But he still can't get a ball in the break here. He can't get a break and run, because that's really what he would need to get himself into this match. And a nice cut by Albinario. Now, does that 3 ball go past the 6? Let's have a look. Well, it does. It goes in off the jaw. And he's gone just a wee bit further than he would want to here, and this isn't easy. Doesn't need to worry about the cue ball, just needs to focus on the 3. And got it in, no problem. And likewise with this 4, just leave the 5 long. Doesn't need to worry, he's going to be on the 6. Can drop the 6 in, finishing the top rail there. And then just roll the 7 in. Again, ideally he would like an angle. He doesn't want to have to play this 8 ball long from tight in the rail. And I think he can just squeeze a little angle there. Maybe, let's have a look. Yes, he can. Well, it looks simple enough to just draw off the 8. Back up for the 9. So Albinario back into a 4 rack lead. Leading by 8 racks to 4. And again, a ball flies in. I think it was a 5 ball. And same result for Albinario. Gets a ball in the break but no shot. Which, as far as Yama's concerned, that's fine. As long as Albi's not breaking and running racks, he's still got a chance. Well, Yama didn't think he could come up with a decent safety shot, so he's passed it back to Albinario. Well, again, a good chance here to go very thin off that 1 ball and try and get the cue ball up near that 8 and 9. But it needs to be thin. He can't nudge this 1 ball along the rail and out. Well, that Four's done him a favour. Little nudge in the 4. And the 2 ball is ruining any chances of a kick shot, so Alba's just going to have to jump. And that's finished in an awkward place. Now, believe it or not, that 1 ball will go in past the 8. It's half a pocket, but it does go. And he could be no problem getting in the 2. Well, he's overcut it. But he's got second prize. That's not going to get there. Now, what does Yama do? Is he going to try and 3-foul Albinario? He's going to have to get a good one if that's what he's going to try. Well, there's an edge of the 1 ball showing, and Albie can catch the edge of it. Well, he's played it soft. He had a good chance there to just bank that onto the top rail and bring the cue ball as far away from that 1 ball as he could there. I think there's enough of that sticking out. Can he catch enough of that to pot the 1? Let's have a look. Well, it looks as if he's looking for the stopper, but I think the 1... No, maybe not when you look at it where the 8 ball is. Now, worst thing that's going to happen here is a double kiss. So now we're into a stalemate situation. The tip tap and the 1 ball. Somebody's going to make a mistake fairly soon, especially with how adjacent the 1 ball is to the corner pocket. This time Albinario could see the edge and get the cue ball away. So now Yama can't see the 1 and just has to kick this soft. Would be maybe the best solution. Just use the spin. But if he gets this wrong, he's just going to nudge the 1 out. Well, I don't think he can see enough of that. And now we're back to square 1. But same shot again for Albie. If he can just thin the edge, avoid the 9. Now, did that 1 ball hit a rail? I don't think it did. Yama. Why do I keep calling him Albie? Now that changes things a bit, because now there's plenty of room to tuck the 1 in behind the 8 and 9. The only problem is whether you can get the cue ball away from the 1 and spin it off that left side rail and back up to the somewhere near the 2. That would need a delicate shot. Well, he's miscued, and now it's ball in hand. So the mistake's been made. Question is whether Albie can run out. I know, to be honest with you, I don't see a problem. As long as you can drop in behind the 4. Now is he going to just roll through and leave the 4 long? Yep. Needs to get in close. And that's perfect. He could stun out for the 6 ball into the left hand middle. He can draw back. He can do whatever he wants here. And now the road map out is fairly straightforward. Drop the 6 in. Drop the 7. But again, he just needs to make sure he doesn't finish dead straight in the 8. So he needs an angle. He needs to leave this cue ball out on the table a bit here. And that's what he's done. Well, he's getting towards the straight, but I think he can draw back and leave the 9 into the same pocket, or just go through and leave the 9 long into the bottom right. So this is another rack in the board for Albie. Yama's little burst there has been stifled, and he's now trailing by 5 racks again. 9 racks to 4 to Albinario. And I think we lost the 6 ball that time. So now here's a tough 1 ball for Albie. And you would think, again, this rack would hinge on this 1 ball. If he gets this 1 and gets on the 2, you're looking at a run out. And that's certainly one way of demoralising your opponent, but Albie's failed. And again, he's got away with it. Now, how does that look from Yama's end? Well, he can't even see the edge, so now he's got to either kick it. Now, that's one thing I've seen him, Yama, playing a couple of games, that he certainly knows how to kick a ball. But the angle isn't there because the 8 ball and the 9 ball are in the way at a straightforward kick. So now he's just got to jump. Well, he's went for it. He's got the 1 in. That was an excellent shot. But he's going to need another good one somehow to get this 2. And there's no way he's cutting that. No way that's going in, unless my eyes are getting really bad. So he's just trying to bank this behind the 5. Well, the cue ball's just run on a bit more than he wanted to there. Well, Albie could use the 5 ball as a stopper for the cue ball and bank the 2 up the table. Well, I think he's sort of hit and hoped here he got a bit of luck, and he has. But he should be in trouble in a minute or so. Is he looking to get... I thought he was trying to billiard that 5 in there for a second, but well, if Albie just feathers this 2 and the cue ball doesn't go far, he's going to leave a 2-4 combo. So he's looking to hide behind the 8 and the 3. How's that worked out? Well, this is put the pressure on Yama because he's got a cut in the 2. and he knows that the three's sitting there waiting. So the pressure's on, and he's played it well, right into the heart of the table. Got full control here and looking to run out. Now again, if you look at if you visualise the shots that he's got to play, he can just drop behind a 5. I think he's finished a bit straight, but there is a slight angle, so he can spin into the right side rail. Now again, he needs to watch the cue ball. To keep it simple, he doesn't want to let the cue ball run too far to leave an angle on this 8. And he's done that right, so he can just actually kill the cue ball and leave a straight 9. Looks like it from here. What does it look like from behind? Well, you can see he's not got a straight 8, so he's just running away from the 9 slightly. So he's just stunned it. So it's another rack in the board. Back to trailing by 4 racks. And we've yet to see, well, we've yet to see any of these players break and run. I don't recall seeing any. So again, Yama's got the 1 and the 3 ball in the break. The 2's in the middle of the table. The 9's very adjacent to that top right hand corner. But you can see it's right on the jaw, on the rail. And that would be asking a lot to try and bank that. And he could try and billiard it in, or is he banking the 2 into this bottom left? Nope, he's gone for the cut, but the cue ball's running. Where's it going? Well, there's a wee bit of luck. But he's not really going to have a shot in this 5. At best, if he holds the cue ball, he's going to have a combo in the 5 and 6, but that is asking a lot to run out this rack. Looks as if he's trying to move something, but I don't know whether he can do that. No. It's too high an angle to actually hold the cue ball. Now, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be tucking that 5 ball by the edge onto the 7 and getting the cue ball up in that top right hand corner. Well, again he's got lucky there. He's sitting perfect on the 7 ball. Now this is where the cue ball's running, and it's just got to be the right pace to get in behind the 9. That'll do it. So, one way or another, Yama's got another rack in the board. We're still waiting on a breaking run here. Oh dear, well, now he's getting balls in the break, but he can't keep the cue ball on the table. And look where the 2 and the 9's sitting. Well, this is going to be a quick rack. Now, what is Albinario doing here? Well, it's not set, but the 2 and the 9 are fairly close. I'm just wondering why he's not even looking at the 2-9 combo, although it's not, it's not a perfect shot. Oh, he's lined it up. Well, he's overcut it. I don't know why he put the cue ball there. I can't work that out. Well, that 2 can be... You can cheat the pocket, but that's asking a lot to get that 2 in past the 5. That's going to be a great shot if he gets that, and he'll definitely be on the 3. He used to watch his clock though, and in the end he was rushed into going for a bank, and unfortunately he's left the 2 on. Remember, it's a 30-second shot clock with a 15-second extension each rack, and he thought about that too much there and had to rush. And it's looking like another one that's got away. But of course the issue now is what Albinario does with a 7 ball. He'll be looking to get on that as straight as he can to play the 7-9 combo, because the 7's not going past the 9. So this is all about judging the pace. Well, in the end I don't know what he tried. Did he try and get behind it to play it into the bottom left here? Now he's looking at a bank, and that cue ball's going to run into the 9. Well, Yama's got plenty of room to get past that 8. Now that 8 is suddenly grown twice the size in Yama's mind, because he knows he can just cut this 7 to the far jaw and still nudge that 9 in, but that 8 ball is so close, he's going to be drawn to it, you would think. And he's managed to get it right. So Albinario, his lead's been cut down to 2 racks. I think this is the closest Yama's got since the very beginning of the match. And the 6 ball goes in. Now where's the 7 going to end up? Well, that's okay. It's still got a pocket. He's got a shot in the 1. And the problem, of course, now is the 5 ball is tucked up with the 8 ball on the left hand rail there. So this isn't anywhere near a straightforward run out. No problem with the 1. No problem with the 2. Problem's getting from the 2 to the 3. Oh dear. That's a very poor shot. Far too much draw in that. Now Albinario, ball in hand. Now if he gets the 2 and gets on the 3 with the right angle, again he'd be in prime position to play the right shot in the 4 to leave an angle to nudge into the 8 and the 5. Now he's got to get this right. And I don't think that's perfect, is it? No, he's finished 2 straight. So now he's going to roll round the corner. And let's have a look at that angle. Well, again, he's got the wrong angle, but he can spin in with left hand English, check it off the end rail and force the cue ball over towards the 5. Again, I can't work out why he played that so soft. Did he try and play for the 5-8 combo? I thought it'd have been better trying to nudge them. So he's decided against that. I'm just going to tie Yama up, which is the right thing to do. Now, he can't see an edge, and really the only thing he can do is try and roll onto this 5 and 8 dead weight. If he does that, he's got a chance of keeping it safe. Well, he seems convinced he can see an edge of that 5. I didn't think he could. My eyes are bad, but they're not that bad that there was enough of that ball sitting out there to be hit. Now, what's Salby playing? Is he playing the combo? Yes, he is. Of course, the reason he's doing that is he's got no shot in the 5. Can't get it into a pocket. Well played. And now Benario now sitting in double figures, leading by 10 racks to 7 with the break. But again, keep saying it, dry break. Now Yama's got a shot in the 1. It isn't easy. And he has to get the pace of it right as well if he's going to have a shot in the 2. Needs to get away from the 9. Oh dear. Well, he's going to have to use his W key here. No problem dropping behind the 3, but he can easily put spin in the cue ball, queuing over this 9. And I think he's trying to force out beyond that 7 ball. So now we know what the crucial shot is. Getting from the 5 onto the 6. Now if the cue ball was right there where it is now, that'd be perfect. Anywhere in the middle of the table. Unless he gets ambitious with this cue ball here, he's going to leave a long 6. He needs to try and get this reasonably straight if he can, and that looks okay. Now the only thing that can go wrong here is playing something daft and getting behind the 9 ball. Got a big margin of error here. He spun away from the 9. And surely he's not finished dead straight in the 7. Nope, he's got an angle. Can go round behind the 8. For the 8 in the same pocket. Now this looks dead easy. 9 ball, slap bang more or less in the middle of the table. Get the cue ball out into the table. And you've got a choice of 3 pockets. I think we'll give him that one. Reasonably straight 9. So Yamaguchi Taru back to trailing by 2 racks. And remember, this this tournament is played with rack money, which means that that 9 ball and the whole rack itself is moved up the table towards us as we sit and look at it, and that makes it a lot more difficult. Not only getting balls in the break, but it just seems to be that the ball, I don't know whether it is, whether it's just the way the luck's going, but the guys really struggle for balls in the break and getting a shot. But Yama there has got Albinario tucked up behind the 3. Well, I thought he had him tucked up behind the 3. Well, again, that was a poor safety shot. Well, that's just a straightforward roll in. Well, he tried to cheat the pocket too much. And now this is a crucial rack here for Yama. He's trailing by 10-8. Albinario's made a mistake. And the worst thing that Yama's going to do here is mess up this chance to run out. And there could be a problem with that 8 ball when he's trying to pot the 6. And he's left it straight, so really he can only come back the way. And he only needs to come back about a foot and just leave this 7 into that top right. He doesn't want to get over ambitious here with the cue ball. Well, he's gone back about 6 inches. And this is a crucial one, keeping a straight shot. Need to remember that the cue ball, or sorry, the cue tip is never centre on the cue ball. But in it goes. And a simple enough 8. And not too much pace. He doesn't want to get anywhere near that right hand middle pocket. So he's leaving it at distance. And you would think now, provided he gets this 9 ball in, now would be the perfect time to get your first break and run in the match. Well, something's gone in. I don't know what it is. Something else has gone in. I don't know what that is either. And well, we've lost the 6 and the 8 ball, but wouldn't you know it, he's got absolutely no shot in the 1. And he's just going to play the push out. Well, the 3 balls gone in, but Albinario, you've got to think he's looking at a bank here. If he gets the bank, he should have a shot in that 2 ball. So this is a crucial point, not only in this rack but in the match. Well, Albinario decided he doesn't like the look of it. He's putting the onus on Yama to make his mind up. And again, it's even more important that he decides exactly what he's wanting to do here. Grab the bull by the horns, go for the bank and go for the run out. Well, again, disaster. He's got the double bank, but where's the cue ball going? Into the middle pocket. Well, would you believe it? And Albinario, ball in hand, Slightly awkward in the 4. He can come back for the 5 or just roll through for the 5 into the right middle. Well, again, same thing. Just stun the 5 in, finish more or less straight in the 7. Now here's where it can go wrong. There's a lot of space behind the 9 here. He could drop low in the 9. Well, he's overhit it, and that way he's made sure he's got the cue ball out. Plenty of margin for error that way, rather than trying to be too accurate. Well, you feel that Yama's chance there might have gone. And if he'd won that rack, it might be a different story. He's back to trailing by 2 racks. Oh, look at that 6 ball. Albie comes up dry. Leaves Yama tucked up behind the 6 with no shot. Cue ball's too close behind that 6 to try a jump, I think. Should really just look at the push. Well, he needs to make his mind up. He's running out of time here. Well, that was a good shot. It's really tough to get those jumps, especially when the cue ball's close to an object ball. But he's got it. Now the question is Yama going to come out of his corner fighting here in this rack? Well, no. Again, he's undercut the 2. And when he just wants to string those 2 or 3 balls together, it just isn't happening for him. He's still in the match, but he just needs a break. And this is when the game really can be frustrating. I don't know about Yama, but it's frustrating for me watching it. But you'd still have to put it down to the fact that he's made a lot more errors than Albinario has, and yet he's only 2 racks behind. So he's got to think positive. He's got to think his luck. He might get a wee run of luck at some point. Now, what's Albinario done here? Well, again, he's going to have to cheat the pocket here if he's going to pot that 4. And it's got to be pocket weight to do that. I think it's too tight an angle. Well, that's not going to get to a rail. So there's your chance, Yama. Shouldn't be a problem with the 5. Plenty of room to get on the 5. He just doesn't want to travel up the table as far as that, though. That's poor. And now again he's backed himself right into a corner and having to pull out a silly cut shot in the 5. Oh, and in it goes. He just squeezes it in. Now, surely he's not going to be hampered by the 9. Let's have a quick look. Well, he is. And he just needs to draw the cue ball back. He needs to get as far up the table as he can. He doesn't want to be running into the 8 ball. He wants to avoid that. And that's a good shot. I think he's still got an angle. Now is he going to just roll this in absolutely dead weight? That would seem to be the shot. but the angle might be that he's taking him towards that 7, the 8. No, I think he can roll it in. Just checked it to hold the cue ball. And now he can drop over to the left hand side of the 9. And a fairly straightforward 9. And it goes. Now this is deja vu here, because he's back to trailing by 1 rack and needs a. And now look at that rack. That rack's tilted to the left. Well, the 8 ball's gone in. Something else has gone in, and again he's finished absolutely nothing on the 1 ball. 8 ball and the 4 ball's gone, and it's just really going to be a push out. Now he needs to make a better job of the push out here. Well, he'll probably find himself tucked in behind the 2 and the 5 here. And now he's back against the wall again, and this is tough to hit. And now he's maybe in a dilemma, thinking about maybe trying to tie a couple of balls up and just play the deliberate foul. And even that's not easy to do. Well, he's got the jump stick out. I don't see what he's trying to do here. Well, I don't think Albie can get that cue ball behind the 1, so he can't pot the 1. So he's just going to edge it and try and spin behind that 8 down in the top end of the table. But that's an easy kick for Yama, and that's not the problem. Now what about the 7 ball? 7 balls going nowhere near the 9. Again, he could try and just kick it dead weight. Remember, he's got to hit a rail, and he's hit a rail, and that's probably the best he could ask for. Yeah, we're not as close as that. It's tough to judge, but it's a chance for Yama. It's a chance. Now he can go up. Needs a bit of left-hand English to go behind the 9, and needs to hope that he avoids that 3 ball. Well, he spun it. He spun it. He's managed to avoid the 9, and he's nudged into the 3, and he's sitting good in the 2. And again, it's all about pace. He just doesn't want to go near that 6 ball here. And he's taken that out of the equation, because he's going to play the 3 long. And again, need to be sure on what he's doing. He's running through, around the corner off that side rail and end rail, or is he leaving it short? He's left it short. And he's leaving himself more work to do. Again, big margin of error, 6 ball in the middle of the table. And needs to get the cue ball away from the rail to leave a decent shot in this 6. And he's more or less straight, I think. Well, he's got a slight angle. So the shot would be to play the 7 down into this bottom right as we look. Is he trying to draw in behind the 7? Maybe drawing in behind it to play it into that top right. Well, that's what he's done. He's overcooked it a bit, but he's actually overcooked it even better, because you can just drop the 7 into the middle. Maybe that was a shot he played. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. So now we've got a tied match, and it's game on. 11 racks all. Yama to break off in rack number 23. And the 1 ball's gone in this time. And that 4 ball's done him a favour. It's nudged the 9 out the way. He's got a shot in the 2. Every ball is in the open, apart from really the 6, which might be a 6-9 combo. Now, if he gets that far, well, he's nudged the 2 in well into the rail there. But he's got away with it. And Albinario needs to rekey his replay button. Now, can Albi get between that 4? Well, he can see an edge of the 2. He might finish in behind the 9 if he doesn't get the double kiss here. He could possibly get that cue ball tucked in behind the 9. I think he almost got it. But he might also find himself back in trouble here if Yama can get this safety. He's just trying to send the cue ball down to the right here, I think. Well, that's perfect. Now that is a tough shot to hit. Well, there's no way he's going to hit the 2 ball, so Albinario has really got to maybe try and tie the 9 and the 6 up. Is he trying to kick it? Well, that's actually not too bad, because it means that Yama's got work to do, because the 3 doesn't go past the 8. The 3's sitting there for a 3-5 combo, and although he's got ball in hand, this isn't pretty. Now he's leaving an angle here, so he's now 100% focused on the 3-5 combo. But where's the 3 ball going when he hits this 5? This is where you've just got to ride your luck a bit here. Well, now he's back in no man's land. The 3 doesn't go past the 4. And he's really got to try and just edge off the 3 and try and tuck behind the 9. He's going to send the 3 to the right rail. Well, as he went for the cut, he's got the cut. That was a brave shot. But now he's in even bigger trouble. He's now trying to cue at this 4 over the 9. Let's look at it from his point of view. Well, what do you do here? Well, it looks as if it's all out for the cut down into the top right. He's running out of time again. He needs to get on with it. He doesn't want to have to rush this shot at the finish. That needs to keep going if he's going to keep it safe, and it hasn't. So Albinario has a straight choice here. Can cut this 4 ball into the middle, cue ball back across to the right, and leave himself as good as he can on that 6-9 combo. In it goes. And so Albinario fends off Yamaguchi Taru again and goes back into the lead. Where's the 9-ball going? Where's the 9-ball going? It's gone in. And that's got to hurt, that rack. That has got to hurt. Albinario gets the first golden break of the match just at the right time for him and the wrong time for Yama. And where's the cue ball going? He's scratched this time. So Yamaguchi Taru has ball in hand. Every ball in the open. Trailing by 2 racks. Albinario only needing 2 for victory. And what does he do with the cue ball here to get on this 3? Well, that's a tight squeeze to get comfortably past that 8-ball. He's trying to drop over in the left-hand corner here behind the 3. And that's probably as best as he could do there. And again, this is all about judgment of pace. There's a very narrow window to get this cue ball into between that 5 and 9 to get on the 4. Or he could go long. And that looks a good pace. Where's the 3 going? It's not going in though. And Albinario might be able to spin this off the side rail and just nudge that 3. Well, out comes the jump stick, and in goes the 3. Where's the cue ball going to finish up? Well, that's better than nothing. He's got the cut in the 4. He could even play it long if he wants. And the 5 drops in past the 9. And a perfect angle here just to drop behind the 7. We can just take it into the middle if he wants, or again leave it long. Well, that golden break might prove to be the one of the final nails in Yama's coffin. He got it back to 11 racks all, got it up to a tied match. And Albinario now is sitting on the hill, leading by 14 racks to 11 with the break. And there's a result just came in from the loser's side in the US Open, same tournament. And Mr. Bill has beaten Snake Eyes by 15 racks to 13, so Bill marches on. And Albinario comes up with a dry break, and again Yamaguchi Taru's left with nothing other than a jump at distance to try and get over that 9-ball. Again, he's into his extension. Cue ball's going to scratch. Oh dear. Well, the only good thing about that for Yama is the fact that he's tied the 5 and the 7 up. Well, I'll be already is looking at nudging into the 7 and leaving himself a shot in the 2, but then he's thought again about it. So now the 8 is tied up against the 4. So you would have to say the odds on Albinario running this rack are fairly slim. Now, is he on the right position there to make the cut in the 4? Well, I think he is. And then again, when you look close at it, I think he can make that pot. I think the 8 ball's a good guide. Yep. Now he needs a bit of luck. And he's got the nudge, but he's finished dead on the 5. And this is the make or break shot here for Yama. He's hooked on the 5. He doesn't want to kick it off the end rail. He could easily go in off the 5 here. And he's looking at a 3 or 4 rail kick. This will be a good shot. And that's unlucky. Very tough shot to avoid hitting that 7. So now Albinario, ball in hand, needs to get from the 5 to the 6, and again a big window to get to the 6 ball. So here's the 1. This should decide the match if he can get from the 7 nicely on the 8. And that's pretty good. Well, Albinario has overcut the 8. And if ever Yama needed a bit of encouragement, that's it right there. Yama was probably typing out good game, good match, and he finds himself with a shot in the 8 ball to keep himself in this tournament. And just a roll in a 9. And that was a very poor shot by Albinario. Took his eye completely off the ball. And Yama saves the match. Still trailing by 2 racks. And the ball has gone in. And he's got a shot in the 1. But look at the 5 and the 9 up at the top end of the table. There's nothing doing up there. Well, Yama's got to be thinking about getting onto that 5 ball, and really if you look at where my donut is, there's no real position to go on that 5. So he's now taking the risk, and a big risk, of nudging him, and there's a bit of good fortune. He's sitting straight on a 3. He can just kill the cue ball. Cue Or is he running through? What's he doing? This needs to run. It needs to keep going. Well, the pressure's on now because this isn't ideal. He's got an angle. He needs to watch the in-off in the middle pocket here, coming back across the table. And he's avoided that. And again, he's now entirely the wrong angle in the 5. And he's got to make his mind up because he's now tucked in the rail. He's the wrong angle in the 5. He doesn't want to get over ambitious with the cue ball here. He plays this with a lot of inside right English. He can check off the rail and come back across and at least have a cut in the 6. But he's tried to hold it. He's tried to hold it and he's overcut it. And that may well be Yama's last shot in this match. And Albinario can just drop behind the 8, roll the 8 in and roll the 9 along the rail. Well, he's just gone too far. So Albinario is going to march on, and he wins the match by 15 racks to 12. And Yamaguchi Taru never really got on fire, but maybe he was feeling the pressure a bit too much. Now what we'll do is we will have a quick look at the bracket and see how the bracket looks now. Now I'll just do a quick refresh here. And we'll see how, if I can get the bracket to work. Now, where are we? Well, there's Mr. Bill and Snake Eyes. That match result that we saw come through. Bill won by 15 racks to 13. And Bill now plays Billy Big Rigger in round number 5. Sorry, round number 9. And if we look, where are we? Are we at the bottom half already? Yeah, we are at the bottom half. And if we look at that match there, there's the match we've just seen. Albinario is now going to play Larry now. There's a match with 2 old-timers. Albinario has played Larry many a time, and that promises again to be a good match, and we'll have that as well. And with that, we will close the stream, and thanks to anybody who has been watching, and it will be on the wee Jinky channel for anybody that wants to see it later on. And we will close and say farewell.